What happened on that?
Practice going pretty good. We still building. It's still early in training camp. I love coming out here competing with my teammates.
The interception. Did you tip that, or did Ben? We were trying to figure that out.
I believe somebody up front tipped the ball, and I came down with it. I mean, that's team defense.
JC, how are you acclimating to the scheme? Obviously, you got signed in March, so it's been a process. But just getting out here in training camp, how are you acclimating?
I'm getting the hang of it. Always switching to a new team is always, you got to adjust. You got to learn. It's a progress. But like I said, I'm coming out here each and every day, getting to know my teammates, my coaches, and having fun competing.
How different is what Brandon is asking you to do versus what you were doing in New England? Is it pretty much similar, like you're following Mike around and playing man, or is there more to it?
I mean, football is all about just having fun, man. Having fun, playing good football together, and I mean, it's the same thing, man. I just play ball.
What's it like playing kind of pass rush and
I mean, I never played with a pass rush like that, so I mean, we're gonna see what that's gonna look like this year. I'm so excited to have those two guys. I mean, I'm ready. I'm very excited.
How does that change your job?
I believe I can make more turnovers having those two guys going at the quarterback. So that should be fun. That's gonna be fun.
It's a pretty lofty expectation given how many turnovers you've had historically now.
Yeah.
How have those battles been with Mike in 11s and 1-on-1s and 7-on-7?
I mean, Mike is a big progressive receiver. He plays in the boundary. I play in the boundary. I mean, it's fun going against him, man. Every day we competing. I'm making him better. He's making me better. I enjoy it.
What kind of challenges does he pose? Like going up against a guy that's that big, that can get that high and high point the ball like that. How does that help you improve as a corner?
Just going against Mike, you just have to. It's all about technique and fundamentals. I mean, no matter how big or small the guy is, you got to always have good fundamentals and technique.
Anything jumped out to you about his game that maybe you weren't aware of that you're now up close you're getting to see?
Not really. I faced Mike. I believe it was last year. I mean, we played Mike 2 times when I was at the Patriots, and I covered him. Okay. So not really, man. I've been new Mike. I seen what he can do. Like I said, I'm excited to be out here with him.
This team has added several players on defense specifically who've all been to the Super Bowl, yourself included. What do you know about that experience that you can maybe impart on an organization that hasn't been there recently?
I would say just the work ethic, man. Just coming out here to work and just being very detailed in your work. I mean, that's what I learned from being with another team. I mean, as the guys can see, man, I just work. It's all about working, getting each other better every day, each and every day, and that's what I try to rub that off with my guys and the DBs. Like, man, let's just work, man, competing, have fun, and let's get better.
How would you describe yourself on the field? Are you a quiet guy? Are you very vocal?
I'm very quiet. I mean, I can turn it up a notch if I have to, but I'm more of a quiet guy.
Yeah. JC, obviously, one of the reasons you came here was Derwin, and he has been practicing so far, obviously going through those contract negotiations, but just how excited are you to get him out on the field and start working an 11-on-11 with him?
I mean, Derwin is a great football player. We've been knowing each other since we were kids. I can't wait to get him out. I can't wait to get him out here on the field. I know he's dealing with other things, but we're gonna control that. I can't control that, but I can't wait to have him out here. It's gonna be very fun.
From your conversations with him, where's his mindset at? Like, is he like chomping at the bit to get back out there and play?
I mean, I have nothing to do with that, man. That's his personal business. I'm focusing on what we do on the field.
With so many new starters on defense, what's it like just trying to get everybody acclimated and up to speed?
I mean, that's why we come out here and practice, man, to get everybody on the same team, practicing, learning the same defensive scheme, just getting everybody together as one unit. I mean, that's what great teams do, come together as one.
Do you feel that happening?
Yes, absolutely.
What are your impressions playing against Justin Herbert now practicing?
I mean, he haven't really thrown to my side. I don't know if he afraid or what, but Herbert haven't thrown to my side yet. He barely throw to my side. So, I mean, but Herbert is a great guy. I love practicing against him, and I can't wait to see what he does this year.
Chargers.
Yes.
Yeah. Chargers have upgraded their defense. And how does it feel to see on the other side of the ball such a great offense, and now you guys look like you're going to have a great defense?
Like I said, we just have to come together, man. The offense going to do their job, and the defense, we're going to do our job. And special teams, all around, everybody, we got to come together and build this thing, man. Like you said, a bunch of new players, just coming together as a team, practicing each and every day. That's the main thing, man.
And have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about what you see from Asante Samuel Jr.?
He got a big future ahead of him. He's young, but like I love being around Asante. Sometimes he asks me for tips and questions, and as an older guy, I love to motivate and help the young guys as much as I can. But yeah, Asante Samuel, he gonna be good. Look out for him.
You were one of the top signings in the league during free agency and everything. Any increased pressure going into the year? You feel like the spotlight's more on you?
Not really. It's not no pressure. I don't feel any pressure. I just feel more excited to be here, excited to be a part of this team, the fans. Just excited to be here. There's no pressure at all.
Just more of a challenge that you look forward to, because I mean, you lined up against the top guys when you were in New England, and that's why they signed you to come here.
Right.
So you feel like it's a challenge you readily accept?
Yeah. I mean, you saying is it a what? Say it again?
It's a challenge that you're ready to take on?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've been doing this. It's not nothing new to me. Like you'll see this year when the season starts, what I'm gonna bring to the table and to this team.
JC, are there any cornerbacks you grew up watching or that you tend to watch on film and study?
I grew up watching Champ Bailey and Darrell Revis. Yeah.
What about their game?
Yeah. So Champ Bailey, more of an older guy. He was one of the best defensive backs in the league when I was coming up. It's just his swag and the way he played. It reminds me of me so much. And then Revis, another guy who just retired, who's young. He's not as old, but Revis is a man-to-man corner, which everybody know that's what I am. Revis played. I watched Revis film practices. He played for Belichick. So those two guys I really look up to and respect the most. And Charles Woodson. That's one of my other favorite DBs.
So do you have Jackson Island?
Who?
You have Jackson Island?
Yes, sir. That's what we correct. We're working on that right now. Jackson Island.
I mean, did Darrell stand out because of his ball hawk abilities and kind of the swagger?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Anything else? Thanks, JC. Thank you, JC. Defense sort of gel. Obviously, you got a ton of new pieces out there, as many as 8 starters. But how have you seen this group come together so far during camp?
I feel like we've slowly come together. We're figuring out how each other plays, learn to play off of them in certain calls and stuff. And I feel like it's all coming together, all moving like a unit. So,
how important has it been just to have so many guys that have played in the scheme before, whether it's you or Troy or Khalil?
I feel like it's real important. Like they can hit the ground running. They don't have to learn a whole new system. We're all kind of familiar with what's going on, so I feel like it's a big advantage.
It looks like from the side here, you're having a good camp. I mean, do you feel like you're playing well?
I feel like I'm playing well. I'm just out there competing, having fun, and trying to let the rest take care of itself.
You guys add some defensive pieces who've kind of gone the distance and gone to the Super Bowl. Are those guys like JC that you talked to about that experience? Or?
Oh yeah, it's always good because once you get to the playoffs and Super Bowl, it's a whole different game and stuff. It's a lot more intense, and just knowing, kind of picking their brains and seeing what they did to get there, how they maintained their body throughout the whole year is another advantage to have.
How are you feeling physically so far through camp?
I feel pretty good. Nothing really to complain about, yeah.
We've seen you back there fielding some of the punts. What is your comfort level like doing that?
I feel pretty comfortable catching punts. Most of the time I'm just in there calling a fair catch, so all I have to worry about is just catching it. So, yeah, not too much stress doing that.
Had some battles here with Keenan. Not the first time you guys have gone up against each other after those battles with Denver and when he was here, obviously. Just how's it been going up against him again in training camp?
It's a blessing, man. I don't think I'm going to get better work from a slot receiver, so just being able to go up against him every day is a blessing and get that probably the best work there is, so I can't complain.
From a DB's perspective and a nickel corner's perspective, what makes him so challenging in the slot?
Just his route running. He's real shifty. He's not a little guy either, so his catch radius is pretty big, but he got some voodoo on his routes. Let's just say that.
How eager are you guys in the secondary to get Derwin out here practicing with you?
Oh, we're really eager, man. We know he's a good player. We know what he can do. He's a big communicator. He's a big piece to this defense, so yeah, he's a big impact.
Just like vocally and whatnot, is it a noticeable absence as you guys are going through camp?
Oh yeah, so when he's doing walkthroughs with us, so he's real vocal, kind of like the quarterback of the defense and stuff. So you definitely know a little difference.
So you're getting a little taste of it, but
yeah.
Okay.
Just an appetizer.
It's an appetizer. It's gonna come along though.
Justine Taylor is a guy that they drafted in the 6th round. Has been playing a lot in the slot. What have you sort of seen out of him so far in camp?
A lot of good things, man. He has speed. He can cover the field as a deep safety, and he knows the game. He's a real smart player, so he's going to bring a lot to the defense.
What's it been like just kind of being in the same room with JC and playing with him now for a couple weeks of training camp?
It's a blessing, man. We're both undrafted players, so I kind of connect with him on that, and he's just a ball player. He has a knack for the ball. So, like I said, just kind of pick his brain and just see how he does things is a blessing.
Thanks, Bryce.
Awesome. Thank you, Bryce.
Appreciate it. Days, how would you evaluate how the defense is doing?
I'm still liking what I'm seeing. We had some padded practice, so we can see those guys. And that show some physical ability and some toughness. So that's on display. We get a couple more days coming up here these next 2 days to put the pads back on, but I'm really liking how the back end's communicating, how we're getting off the front, getting off the ball up front. I like how they're playing nice and square up there, and the backers are flowing and playing off of those guys. So I'm really liking how we're coming along. We just got to keep getting out here on this practice field and keep coming together as a team.
Is there a point that you would like to have Derwin out here just so you can see exactly what this defense looks like in live action?
Yeah, he's getting all the walkthrough parts of it. So mentally, he's locked into the game. We know what he can do physically. We know that will work us out. It'll work itself out when it's time. But in the meantime, he's doing everything that he can do to stay involved, and we're trying to indulge him in making sure that he's a part of the walkthroughs. And he's still the alpha guy when he steps out here. So it's the points coming when he's going to get on the field, but it's. I feel like he's always near me, so I feel like he's a part of it all the time.
Rest days for Joey and Khalil today? They weren't rotating in 11s.
Yeah, we got a big ramp up with the pads coming on, so we want to make sure that those guys are ready to go for those practices coming up. But they were ready to go if needed, but it's a good chance for us to get out here and evaluate some of the other guys.
That's sort of what I was going to ask about. Just what have you seen from this edge depth? I know you guys signed Kyle to potentially play there, but you've had some injuries at linebacker, so he's been playing mostly inside. What have you seen from some of these guys, whether it's Chris, Jamal Davis, Carlo Kemp?
Yeah. Chris has been doing a great job. I feel the weight on him right now. I feel when he goes to a power rush move that it's on display a little bit more. Last year, if he went to that move, they probably would have grabbed him up and we wouldn't gotten any push in the pocket. But he's doing a good job. You can tell he's really been working on his pass rush game. He's really got some good setups that's working. And then JD, he's sticking to what he knows. He's a great power rusher coming off the ball and setting the edge in the run game. So really liking what I see with him. And then he's always been steady. His thing is going to be, can he be dynamic in the pass game? So we're really pushing him in that area to be dynamic when it is time to pass rush, so he can express what he does best.
Skipping a couple days ahead to the scrimmage, is there anything specific that you're going to be keeping your eye out for?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we're just going to allow, we're not going to complicate the calls. We just want to let these guys to line up and play sound football. It's a chance for us to continue to come together as a team. There are a lot of new pieces, so get a chance for those guys to play together and communicate with each other. And let's see what it looks like at post scrimmage. But I'm happy with. I'm looking forward to that opportunity.
Didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry. When you guys add some pieces who've been to the Super Bowl and gone the distance, do you think that can have an effect on your defense?
I definitely do. They've been in those high pressure moments. Having a guy like Kyle come in here, you can just feel it. He has a pace about him, a poisonous about him, where he just go about his business on a daily. You can see that he's a leader, he's a vet, and it's good for have those young guys follow and see that as he go on his day-to-day stuff.
Bryce is obviously a guy that you and Brandon had familiarity with before you guys signed him here. Just what have you seen out of him in the slot so far in camp?
Yeah, that's home for Bryce. He's done it since he came into the National Football League, and he also has a great ability to play outside. But we know his strong suit is playing inside. He's calm in there. He's seen a lot, and he has the quickness and speed to guard pretty much anybody that goes in that slot.
Just with Michael Davis, what are you guys envisioning his role as? It seems like he's rotating between a couple different places right now, coming on in the dime package today. Just what do you sort of see for him?
Well, I tried to mention earlier, we don't know how these packages are going to shake out, but we want to continue to create depth and competition. And we know Mike is a talented guy, and we got to find ways to get guys on the field in different packages. So he did slide inside on some dime today, and we're just going to keep it going. We're going to see how this thing develops. And I think the more and more we find out what their comfort level's at out on the practice field, it'll kind of determine how we approach our game planning.
Well, in New England, JC basically would just travel with the one receiver. Do you guys anticipate him doing that this year?
There's gonna be games where we'll have that opportunity, but right now it's just let's get our cleats in the grass and go. We brought him in here to be the number one. So if there's games and there's matchups where we feel like it's needed, I'm sure we'll definitely explore those.
What have you thought of his camp so far?
He's been solid. He's been like we anticipated, from his playing days in New England. Come out here and just be a lockdown performer. We've been kind of easing him in the process, making sure that he's healthy and ready to go. But he's done everything we asked, and every time he steps on the grass, he's either close to making a play or he's making a play.
You kind of joked that Justin hasn't thrown the ball his way. Do you have any idea if that's by design or if that's just who he is as a corner? Justin knows better.
I think he feels it, but Justin is confident too. So I don't know if it's that, but you can tell that JC is a big physical guy. It's a presence over there. But I don't think Justin's scared to throw the ball anywhere.
Renaldo, where is JT Woods at in his development?
He's on the come. I think the game is starting to slow down for him a lot. We kind of threw a lot at him, and you can see sometimes in his rotational things where it's a little pause there. But you can't deny that this guy has, the 4.3 speed, and we just gotta, get him to keep getting out of a slower place so he can play fast and play at that 4.3 that we've seen in the past. But he's on the come. He's definitely on the come.
When you guys drafted him, we all had conversations about where he was going to fit, and you talked about, his ability to play in the deep part of the field, which would allow you to move Derwin around more, play him in the slot more, close to the line of scrimmage. Is JT going to be ready for that role, a pretty big role in the defense, or is it a Logie right now? Who's that guy?
Right now, it's still hard to tell, who would be that guy. We know he's special at getting the ball in the back end, and like right now, it's just really how much can we get him on the grass and continue to get him to playing at that fast pace. Still got a lot of time and some preseason games to determine that, but he's digging into it every day, and we'll see how it plays out.
When you give a guy that much information up front, which is something you guys have done, not just on defense. Brandon did it and Joe did it with Justin last year with the offense. If a guy is playing slow because maybe you put too much on his plate, how do you rectify that? How do you get him to start playing faster as a coach?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just continue to give the one-on-ones with him. Him getting upstairs with Coach Donatel and hammering those things that he needs help with. And then once we start getting into the game plan situation, the playbook won't be as in-depth as what we do out here. So we'll be able to, kind of pinpoint the things that he needs to go out there and execute and get done in order for him to play fast. But right now, we want to throw as much as we can at him just to get him exposed to those things that we do. And then once the game plan comes down, we'll be able to shrink it. But like I said, it's a lot of time in between here and the game. So we're just going to keep hammering at him, and we know he'll come around.
That's good. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Renaldo.